reducer we have for each component. In three components, so we have created three reducer. One is the book reducer, user reducer, and after that we have called API reducer. And API reducer, user reducer, and book reducer all are combined under the main reducer. Main reducer hold all the list of the three reducer, and finally this list of three reducer will be hold under the main reducer, and main reducer you are calling under the where under the store you are calling, and you have given the main reducer to store, and after this store you are sending to provider under the index.js file. A store we are giving to the provider, and provider will hold complete app. So indirectly the flow is like this. You will have one index.js got the data from where app.js. Okay, or you can understand in this way. Okay, provider got the data from a store in a store. Who and all are working under the store? We have next call main reducer reducer. Under the store we have the main reducer, and under the main reducer it is holding the multiple reducer. Multiple reducers are combined together, and it's gone to the where? To the main reducer come to the store gone to the provider. Now we have to create, we have already components are ready. We need to see now input and output, how we can send the data to a store and how we can fetch the data from a store. Localhost okay, so here the static pages was ready. Now in that we have to play with the overall contents. So first we'll come to the main component, that is called book.js file. Book.js file. Okay, so hope you are in book.js file. In book.js file, we have a text box. For that text box, we have to give the ID. Give it the ID equal to full name or maybe book name. ID is a book name. After that, this ID is going to help us to do something. Next, after that, you have to come to the action file. After that, you have to come to the action file. Come to the action file. Action file that is called my action. Under the my action, you can write const export const save book fat arrow method. Keep a alert here. Okay, book save. Okay, book save. Okay, book save. Now come down, write one more function export const const delete book equal to, here you have to pass the index every time whenever you want to delete a book. Keep an alert here. Index plus will get deleted. Index plus will get deleted. Okay, hope two function is there. One function is called save book, another function is called a delete book. Alert we are given. Now these two functions are written under the these two functions are written under the these two functions are written under the action file, and we have to use this function under the book.js file. So under the book.js file, we have to import the save book and we have to import the delete book. Both the function we need to import. Save book and delete book, both the function we need to import in which file? Save book.js file. So now come to the save book of written. Now I will go to the savebook.js file. Under the savebook.js file, React and all is not imported in this. You have to import all. Import React from React. Next, after that, import import save book, delete book from dot slash action folder. Under the action folder, there will be file called myaction.js. From both the file, you are going to call from the file you are going to call this one, both the button. After that, you have to communicate with the state. You have to communicate with the store. So to communicate with the store, you have to call two hooks function. One is called import use dispatch, use dispatch, use dispatch. Another one is called use selector from React Redux. So use state for what purpose? Use dispatch to dispatch action, and use selector to fetch the data. You can say simple, using use dispatch, you are going to dispatch the data. Using use selector, you are going to fetch the data. From where? From the store. From the store, inside the store, you have a reducer. You will be calling state.reducer. You will be calling a state.reducer. So under the store, whichever the states are there, inside your reducer will get called, and it will give you a list of books. So this two, if you have created, then come down, you have to create an object of use dispatch. How to do that? Const use, not use directly, you can write it dispatch, dispatch, dispatch equal to use dispatch, and again another const all book, another const call all book equal to const const all book equal to use selector. Under this use selector, there is a state. Inside the state, you have one book list. Inside the state, under the store, the use selector is pointing to where? A store. Use selector is pointing to a store. Inside the store, there is a state where all the data are stored. Under the state, it should call a particular state. So which state? State dot book list. Book list is the name of your reducer that you have written under the book reducer.js file. Book list is the name of the function that you have written under the booklist.js file. So that is indirectly as a reducer. So inside the state, your reducer is there. A state is a part of your state, and a state is the container of entire application data. Now come down and print below all book.length. Is that any problem or no problem? All book.length. Is there any problem or no problem? Till here you can check. There should not be any error at any point. Okay, hope ready. Now I'll come to the browser. Length should remain 0 only after integrating, after calling the use state and use effect, everything, use state and use dispatch. Length remain 0. Now what we want to do? Let us click on button and check whether event is calling or not. So here in this, in the Redux, the way of calling will be little different. On click remains same. On click equal to a square bracket will open. Inside you have to use like use state, the and then you have to use the dispatch, the object we have created on the top, dispatch. Under the dispatch, you have to write here. Under the dispatch, you have to write here call the function. Which function? Save book. Save book. Save book function. Directly save book function we can call here under the use dispatch. So the save book, whatever it will do, that will get dispatched to the store from here. Now button click alert should come. Now button click alert should come. Okay, hope button click. You are getting the alert. When we click on this button, save book, one alert should come. Okay, book save. Okay, book save. Okay, book save. What is that? Yeah, no problem. So it's saying like multiple times you have clicked without any input. So definitely it is harming to a state, a store. So as of now, function has not returned anything. Because of that, multiple click has made some kind of internal problem. So once we complete the reducer part and complete the action part, then it will not give any kind of error. Error or no error? Button click, hope alert is coming. Now let's come to your action file. In action file, this save function has to return a array of object. The save function has to return one array of object. How that look? That look like this. Let's go here, create a variable called book info. Book info equal to, inside this book info, you have to give first action type. Action type as a add book. Add book. And the name of the book will be, we will take from the text box. We'll take from the text box. Or directly you write here call as a Java. We will check was basic. Next, after this, you will write here call return book info. Return as a book info. Return as a book info. So whenever we call the save function will return one array object, and that will be returning to whom? That use state function. Suppose now if we call this save book function, what it will return you? It will return in the book info. That meaning it has an object having the type as well as name. Type is add book and name is what? Java basic. Now when I go here and button click when I am calling here, when I am calling the save function what it will return here? It will return an object. Inside that one will be called type as a add book, and there will be another one called name called a Java basic, and that array object will be go to whom? Dispatch function. Dispatch will be going to where? Dispatch will be going directly to store. Inside the store now your reducer will take care. So let's complete this part, then we'll go to the reducer and we'll see what the reducer can do there. Let me share in the chat. Okay, code is sent in your chat. Hope the save function is ready. The save function is ready. We can move next. Next function is we need to come to the reducer file. So look at here. What you are sending? You are sending the a object holding the type as a add book and the name called is a Java basic. Now go to your reducer, that is called book reducer. If you have written, let me know in the chat. I can move next. Dispatch used to send the dispatch the action from view to store. Use dispatch will help you to send the data from view to where? View to store. Use selector will help you to fetch the data from store. Use dispatch will help you to send the data to store. वहीं यहाँ पे लिखे हैं ना use state use. What is doing? It's object. Dispatch function is dispatch is the object of use dispatch. Inside the use dispatch, what I call the save book. Now save book, what it will return? It will return one object like this much, where one will be called type, another will be called name. So question is where this dispatch will happen? Where this dispatch will happen? Dispatch will happen to store. Dispatch will happen to a store. What dispatch will happen? One object as a type and a name. Now inside the store, who will be there? Under the store, your reducer is there. Now inside the reducer, we have to check here what is the action. From there, whatever the data is coming from where? From the view file, the content is then sent to the store. Now inside the store, your reducer is sitting. Which reducer? Book reducer. Inside the book reducer, the input is going to come. That is going to come under the action. Now inside the action will be like an object. It will have two value. One is called type, another one is called name. So we can go here and we can write here one line, alert action dot type, action dot type, and another alert action dot name, because from there how many parameter I'm sending? Two parameter as a object. One is called type, another one is as a name. Action dot type and action dot name. Action dot type and action dot name. Now let me show you what is going to happen. So suppose I click here. So it will give a alert. We may have to add the condition over there. If condition we need to add. See, redux something has come. Undefined has come. Okay, when I click here, it is saying call action is what? Add book. And then name is what? Basic Java. Now those content we have to capture based on if condition. So I will be writing here if action dot type triple equal to can use here just to compare string and everything. Add book, then you have one array here, array name is called data list. So under the data list dot push, you can use push, or maybe data list dot unshift you can use. It will add in the beginning action dot name. So the condition is checked because this reducer will be called two times, while deleting the element, while saving the element. When it call while saving, how it will come to know? Oh, user has clicked on save button. So it says, okay, if the action dot type under the action variable from the my action file, if object is coming as a type and their value is as a add book, then what to do? Push the name of the book inside the which array? Data list array. Data list array will hold the old value as well as new value. Now look at here, the state we have called here state. So this state, what it will do? It will capture the old value that is stored under the state. It will capture the old value that is stored under the state. So when you call the function first time, your store is empty. Inside the store you have nothing. So what will happen? This array will come as an empty array first time. But when the next time it will come, it will say object dot assign. Means under the store, if any old data was there, then keep under which variable? Data list variable. And after that, if the user has clicked on button, and then which button he has clicked. So we are checking based on type. Yes, it is add book. If you add book, then inside the action only one more object is coming, that is called name. Take that and push inside the array and finally return this array. So whoever will call the book list function, he will get the return as a data list. That meaning old value as well as new value both. Now let me come to my browser and show you what is happening. If I click here simply on the button, the number should get increased by 1. If I click on this button, the number will get increased because the array length is increasing. Data is getting pushed where? Inside the book list. And book list is a name of a, it's called a reducer. A reducer is sitting under the store, and whichever the request you are sending from here using dispatch method is directly sending to a store, and inside your store, this reducer will be sitting under the store, and it will check, okay, action is add book, then it will look for the name property, and if name is exists, then push inside the array and finally return the list of array with the old value as well as new value. What we have done under the book.js file? Under the book.js file, we are calling the state from where? From the state.booklist. Under the store, your data is storing under the state only. So using the use selector will direct to the store. Under the store, inside the state, there is one book list reducer. Book list reducer is a function. It returns the old value as well as new value. Finally, keep under which variable? all book variable and keep a length here. So as soon as you add the value, a return will also happen. As soon as you add the value, return will also come there. Okay. Next, after that, it is through multiple way. Okay. It is through multiple way in the sense 2-3 files have the communication. That communication we have to understand. So hope you have written under the which file? Reducer file. Write it quickly. One button click. Check the length is increasing. Button click length is increasing for anyone. Is a fixed value is sending to a store. And from a store you are fetching and you are displaying there. We have to display the list of the book also, and once we click on delete button, it should delete also. In the book file again, we can come and under the book file, it is going to come as a single dimensional array. So you have to open the T body, open and close the T body, all book dot map, all book dot reverse dot map you can do, all book dot reverse dot REVERSE reverse dot map. Inside that, name, book name, book comma index you can follow here, and it will be as a map function only, but return TRTD inside the TD you will follow here call index key equal to index. Next after that come down, follow a TD and write here call book. It will print the name of the book and you will create a TD here, button Okay, next after that you have done some mistake in that. So करवाओ btn hyphen ranger btn hyphen sr. So as soon as I run my page, I can see the list of values will come here in the page. 26 records should come. Same core Java will come 26 times. If I add more, it will get increased here. So what is the error? Action must return object. कितना बार क्लिक किया बटन पर आप? Go to the action file and add this line. ये ऐड करो आप. Are you in the chat? Zoom chat? Login करके रहिए उसमें. I send all the content of action file. Please check that. The Redux is a subject for a study. What code you have written last week, you should sit and read that. You should read the flow, okay, where to where it is happening. After writing the code today, in evening time, you need to sit for 2 hours and study that, read that. Read on internet anywhere, okay? Internet in the sense, YouTube. Multi-lakhs people has made the video. In that video, you will not understand where is the start and where is the end. Okay, where is the start of the Redux and where is the end of the Redux. I will send you again in the chat. You can copy and paste that in Action file completely. Okay, clear? Still error? So action file was this much that I have shared already. Under the book reducer, you are supposed to write one line. Other was already written, only one line was required here. Action dot type triple equal to add book. Action dot type triple equal to add book. Then then add book, then data list.push, new element. So till here code is here. Now next is the book.js file. In book.js file, have you imported the save and delete? Have you imported the use dispatch, use selector? Have you created this two line of object? If yes, then on button click how you are calling. Are you calling something like this? I can share this code, button code also in the chat. Other people should say yes, no, happening, not happening, anything. Next, after that, I will share the list of the map function what we have used, tbody to tbody. Function of Chelsea is working. Remaining no reply. Okay. So next we need to keep dynamic. It should display only those books that we have added. It should display only those books that we have added. Okay. So if you refresh the page, completely manually, all the data will be gone. Benefit of Redux also you. Suppose I click here, one book, two book, three book. Three book we added. If you remember the normal React classes, there suppose in a component you have added some data. If you go to other component, other component, other component, and come back to again same component, you will lose the data. But here it is not losing the data. Data remain same, right? चेक करके देखिए एक बार. Hello. Okay. No, madam. Okay, okay, ready? So once you go to other component and come back, you will not lose the data. Data is going. Click on save button. Suppose four books are added here. Go to other component and come back. You will not lose the data. Why? Because this data is not storing in your component. This data is going to store directly. And from a store at any time we can fetch. Just manually you should not reload the page. Unless your page is not reload manually, your data will remain same. It will not get cleared. Okay. Okay, I sent you the book.js file. Now come to the action file. In book.js file, you can see for the text box we are given ID for book name. Book name you are given the ID. Come to the action file. Here what we have written called Java basic. We can write here document.get element by ID, which ID book name dot value. Directly we can write this line also. We can take the value of text box and give to this object, and this object will send to the store from here. Okay, written. Now let's come to the browser. I will refresh the page manually. We'll enter the value and we'll see it is getting added or not. Then write here call PHP save. That should come under the list. Right here for Java save should come under the list. Angular, click on save, it will come under the list. This way. If I go to other component and come back, the data remains same. It will not lose that. That is the main feature of your Redux. If you go to other component, you will not lose the data. So now, whichever the value you add into the text box is getting added or not. The value whichever we add into the text box, it should get added. Adding or not adding? Now we'll write here the delete functionality. Go here and check a condition here. Similar way, index will come. We have to write a book info, and under the book info, we can add here type as a delete book, or maybe you can say del book or remove book better, REMOVE, remove book, and index will be as a index. Index will be as a index. So whenever we call this function, delete function, we have to pass a position 0, 1, 2, 3 so that it will remove from the array. And we will be sending to the store a reducer saying like, if type is a remove book, then what to do? Remove one particular element from the array. Array dot unshift function we can, and array dot splice function we can run it, and we can get the particular value removed from the array. Okay. Hope you written this. Let us come now. This is under which function? Delete book function. What type we have? Action type is a remove book, and the index will be as a 0, 1, 2, 3. Go to the book reducer, and again add one more condition. If action type is remove book, REMOVE, remove book, then data list dot splice function you have to run, and inside action dot index and comma 1. So this what it will do from the array, what the array is stored inside your, which array is stored inside the store. From that array, book list array, it will delete a particular position element, and finally again it will return you. See here it is adding. After adding also return the data list. Here it is deleting. After delete also return the data list. Finally, whenever we call the book list function, either we have to call by the action call add book, or we have to call the by remove book. If you are not passing any parameter, by default it will give the data list available element inside the array. That is written here, return as a data list. Whenever we call the book list function, it will return the data list as a array. That can be single dimensional array or multi-dimensional array, depends how you are storing the data here. Okay, so hope this remove function you have added. Let me share in the chat.